Welcome to Muscle Maintenance with In Shape Fitness. I'm Kim Watkins, and today is Monday, February 11th. I hope that you had a great weekend and that you're willing to shake out the cobwebs and get your body going for the week. This is an easy workout. It's a level 1 workout. We're starting a new series with 6 new fundamentals. So it's really important that you sort of really listen in to the specifics of every move that we're going to be doing. We'll do 2 sets as usual, one instructional set that takes a bit of time because we're going to work together to make sure that you get absolutely everything perfectly set up and move with the right precision and the right control and the right speed. And then we'll do a nice flow set to boost your energy and really get you set up for the week. Then of course we'll be adding on to each of these moves in difficulty as we move through the week, like we always do. So first, let's get you warmed up. I hope that you're ready. Stand up for me and get your shoulders back. Make sure that your ears and shoulders are vertically in line. You're relaxing your shoulders though. Your chest is lifted by your breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Squeeze your tummy muscles and tuck in your tailbone. We're going to start with a jog in place. Now, if you simply cannot jog in place, you can walk in place, but make it a pretty active one. I'm going to start the 30 seconds now. Everyone knows how to jog. Make sure that you're kicking those feet back. I don't want a lazy jog. Just really sort of push yourself into activity to get the blood flowing, get your heart rate up a little bit, because the second warm-up move is just for your arms and shoulders and back, and it's your feet aren't moving. So I really want to make sure that your lower legs, your lower limbs are ready to go as we start the first move of the set. You've got 10 more seconds to jog or walk briskly in place. Hopefully you're not wearing any shoes. I really prefer that these workouts are done in your bare feet so that you can control your body weight and really focus on, equilibrating your body weight on all 4 corners of each foot and between each foot, as it were. Okay, now stand in place with your toes and heels touching. You want to really squeeze the muscles coming up your leg and through your hips. Great time for those Kegels. If you did my Kegels and cardio workout on the podcast for the In Shape Fitness show this week, I got crazy over Kegels, so make sure that you're really tightening that pelvic floor area and your abs. Now bring your hands in sort of a prayer position in front of your body. You're going to press your palms together. Now I want you also to press your elbows together. I'm calling this a forearm squeeze. Now really press them together. It might be a little difficult to press them together. Now I want you to lift your elbows, keeping your hands perfectly aligned, pressing them together. Lift your elbows up as high as they'll go, right in front of your nose, hopefully. Then slowly lower down. 30 seconds starts now. This really increases the range of motion in your shoulders and your back. It works the biceps and the front of your shoulders in particular quite a bit. So this is really great, kind of a unique move, but it's really fabulous to warm up the arms and back. 10 more seconds. It moves pretty quickly. A lot of my clients have a hard time holding this position at all for a sustained amount of time, more than 5 or 6 seconds. So I know it's rather difficult, but it's really good for your body. Okay, you're done. Now the first move in the series is simply a high knee march. We want to get you used to the idea of lifting your knees up to hip level or just above the hip level, right, and swinging your arms forward and back. Then placing your feet back down on the floor straight, your toes and heels in line, and about hip width apart. Okay, let's start the 30 seconds now. So just high knees, really lift up. And if you are already pretty fit and aerobic, you want to do like a little skip at the top, that's perfectly fine. Like a little hop up at the top as you lift one knee, you jump a little bit on the other leg. It's kind of like I call it that sometimes, a stationary skip, which is totally fine. You've got 10 more seconds. We're going to take some time getting ourselves down on the floor here coming up in a couple seconds. The next move is going to be a walk-out plank. So you're finished with the high knee march, and you're going to stand up again, really erect. Make sure that you're controlled, you're aware of all of the muscles in your body. Now what I want you to do is bend your knees a little bit, hinge mostly at your hip, and lean over and put your hands on the floor. Walk your hands out. Keep your feet in the same position. You're walking your hands out to push-up position, to a hand plank. When you get there, pause for a second and then walk all the way back. stand all the way up by pressing the heels into the floor and squeezing those butt cheeks. 30 seconds starts now. You're only going to do 3 or 4 of them, maybe 5 if you're quick. So don't worry about the time. It's, you know, really more about your control, making sure that you get your butt down, that when you get to the plank position, you sort of take just long enough to understand what position your body is in. Maybe do a little squeeze, sort of like a systems check in terms of making sure everything is in the right place. And then you walk back and you stand fully as you come back up. You've got 5 seconds, by the way, and you will be done. We'll be doing a lot of fun walkout moves, walkout push-ups, walkout Spider-Mans. So there you have it for the week. Don't get scared and not join me for the rest of the week because I just said walkout push-ups. They're not super hard. Okay, now stand up for me again. Make sure that you're all standing at you're sort of controlling your breath again. You're going to do a modified lunge next. And what that means is that you're going to take a big step out with your right leg. Bend both knees, but only lower the torso, lower your body straight down about halfway. So up till your bend in the knee is about 45 degrees. Normally it would be to 90 degrees so that your lower leg, the back leg, in this case the left leg, where your lower leg is almost parallel to the floor, or is really parallel to the floor. But just lower your body about halfway down and then step back and return to that forward step position and keep that going. So it's a modified lunge. We've got a couple more seconds that we're going to do with the right leg forward. Then we're going to switch and we'll do 15 seconds with the left leg forward. And go ahead and switch. Now take a big step forward with your left leg. Bend both knees. 15 seconds is going on this side. You're doing great. Keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep those abs contracted. Make sure that you don't collapse at the waist. You really don't want to bend forward as you're doing your lunges. And of course, obviously, we're going to be doing lunges in this segment of the workout series all week long. Okay, now you can lie down on the floor. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, and I want you to prop your body up onto your forearms. This is called a lounge chair kick. So we're going to be doing a lot of different kinds of things with the butt muscles and using the hips at this point as we lay down on the floor and sort of really get into the nitty-gritty of some of the lower core work that I like to do so much of. But this is just a lounge chair kick. I can't even say it. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift up the right knee, then kick out your right foot, then bend that leg and put the foot back down on the floor exactly in the same spot. Then alternate with the left leg. That's all you're doing. It's really kind of easy, and it won't really tax your body all that much in terms of aerobic activity, but it is a precursor to some of the cool stuff we're going to be doing this week. So let's get started. 30 seconds starts now. And make sure when you kick the foot out, you flex the foot in order to keep that back of the leg activated. You do not want your thigh to do all of the work here, and it will. And if the sitting up on your forearms is taxing on your lower back, you can either lie all the way down, or you can quickly grab a towel and put it underneath your lower back in order to give yourself a little more stability there. Okay, done with that. Let's just do a crunch to finish up, and actually no, step back. We're going to do a hip bridge next. I forgot. Okay, so now put your head on the floor and your hands are down by your sides. Make sure that your toes, again, toes do not turn out. You want the pinky toe and the heel to be in line, parallel to each other. So lift your hips and hold. 30 seconds starts now. Press your toes down. Make sure that you don't lift your feet in terms of your toes. You don't want your heel absorbing all of your body weight because that puts added pressure on your lower back, and it shifts some of the effort away from your hips and your glutes to your quads. And once again, here I have to kind of sound like a broken record, but you don't want your quads to do all of the work. And they will, because it's the biggest muscle in your body, biggest muscle group, biggest single sort of group of muscles that work as a unit. And they want to do as much as they can, and they're the most developed probably that you have. So you really want to focus on pressing those toes down as we do this sort of movement. And of course, we're going to be doing lots of hip work here the rest of the week. Okay, let's do a basic crunch now. Your hands are behind your head now, and your feet are in the same position. Take a deep breath in, scoop in and up through your lower abdomen, and lift your head, your shoulders, and the top of your rib cage, and squeeze at the apex, especially as you switch directions. 30 seconds is going. Almost finishes the last move of the first set, and then we'll take a quick break and then run through each of the 6 moves again very quickly in the flow set to give you that real 3-minute metabolic boost that you need on a Monday morning. It's absolutely imperative to kick off the weekend blahs or weekend excitement. In my case, it was all about hanging out outside in the snow. So much fun this weekend. So much fun. Okay, stand on up. Let's get back to the beginning. We're going to do that high knee march again. Take a couple of deep breaths first. Get yourself ready mentally. Sip of water if you need it. We're going to start in 5 seconds. Make sure your back is straight. Really focus on those abdominal muscles contracting as you move. And let's start the 30 seconds right now. High knees. Make sure the knees come up. You know, there's no need to hurry through this because you're going to be doing some kicking and various other things in terms of using the hip to move the knee up, and then using the lower leg, like sort of a sequential move as we proceed through the week and start making this a little more difficult. So 6 more seconds. Marching, marching, marching. Swing your arms forward and back. Moving right out into the walkout plank. Go ahead. Put your hands on the floor. Walk out to push-up position. Remember to keep your feet in one spot. As you get to that plank position, then start walking back and stand all the way up. And again, walk out, halfway finished. In terms of your time, again, you only do, 3, 4, maybe 5 of these at most. It's the switching directions in terms of the body. The heart doesn't know where it's supposed to be sending the blood, and so things get crazy and the heart has to work a lot harder. Probably the most aerobic move that we have in this workout. Okay. Now stand up real tall for me. Put your hands on your hips. Take that big step forward with your right leg and bend the knees a few inches down to about 45 degrees and back. And 15 seconds is already going. We've got 10 seconds more. Very nice. Keep the back straight. Keep your shoulders back. Keep breathing. 3 seconds. And switch. Big step forward with the left leg now. Very good. Nice to do make the effort sort of sustained on one side so that the stability leg, so the leg that's not moving, gets a little bit more action than it would if you were alternating the legs. That's why I do it that way. So, trick of the trade. Okay, now you're done with that move. We're going to go back down to the floor. Prop yourself up onto your forearms and put your feet on the floor, hip width apart, pinky toes and heels in line. We're going to do the lounge chair kick starting now. 30 seconds is going. Last 3 moves. 2 more minutes and you'll be finished with this workout. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining me. Make sure that when you're kicking, you keep that foot flexed in order to use the back of the leg. And again, just take your time. There's no need to make it sort of crazy. You don't need to pop your knee and thwart sort of your additional effort later in the week. Just take it easy. You want a smooth transition as you move from the extended leg position back to the bent leg position, and with your foot on the floor. You've got 5 more seconds. We're going to do the hip bridge next. So go ahead and lower your head now down to the floor, hands down by your sides, lift up your hips, and 30 seconds is running now. And make sure that you keep those toes pressed down into the floor. Heels are on the floor as well, but you really want to make sure that you don't lift up your toes. And keep those hips up high. Squeeze your glutes. Very nice. That's good. A few more seconds here. Very good. Coming up on the last 5 seconds. And now bring your hands behind your head. And let's do the last move. 30 seconds is going now for basic crunch. You've got this. Make sure that you really focus on that squeeze of your abs as you lift your head and your shoulders and the top of your rib cage. Try to get a little higher each time. Look up at your ceiling. You don't want to strain your neck and you don't want to pull on your head. You're almost finished. Last 10 seconds. Very good. What a pleasure it's been to introduce you to this new series. I like this series a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun with the different moves that we can add on to each of the segments this week. So join me tomorrow for the level 2 workout for this week's muscle maintenance series. I'm Kim Watkins from InShape Fitness. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.